I finally saw the movie Obsession, and honestly, it's really impressive for what they did with this movie for the budget it had. Because apparently it had a budget of $750,000. It's under $1 million, and in Hollywood, that's to do this much with that kind of budget. It is impressive. But anyway, there's this friend group with Bear, Ian, Nikki, Sarah, and Bear likes Nikki, but she doesn't know, and he doesn't know how to tell her that. He's afraid, and he decides to. Oh yeah, in the beginning of the movie, his cat dies from, I think, taking some medication or something that it shouldn't have. And anyway, Bear decides to buy a gift for Nikki, and he buys the One Wish Willow, and they all hang out together. And at the end of the night, he drops her off, and she actually does ask him whether he likes her or not. And this was the big chance for him. He could have told her that, but he doesn't. And then she walks away, and then he decides to break the One Wish Willow and wish for her to love him more than anyone else in the world. And all of a sudden, she comes back, her personality kind of changes. They spend the night together, and then the next day, he doesn't know what to do, but she shows up again at night, and she says that she's into him. So they get together, and we see a few cut scenes of them being together in a relationship, and that's nice. And at the afterwards, during a dinner, Ian calls Bear and tells him that Nikki was lying about her dad being sick, and now he's concerned about that. Why would she tell him that? And as soon as he asks her about it, she kind of goes ballistic and makes a scene, and then he calms her down and says it doesn't matter. So they carry on, and then they go to a game night with the whole other bunch of people, and Nikki's there, and she's talking all weird, and it seems like she's really obsessed with Bear, and everyone notices it. And then all of a sudden, it seems she's in shock, and she just moves backwards, says that this isn't her, and that's where we kind of see that this isn't the actual Nikki. This is someone else. And then the new version of Nikki gets control again and bashes her head with the glass, I think, to knock out the other Nikki. And everyone's shocked, and then Bear and Nikki talk about this, and honestly, he realizes something's very wrong, but he decides to go with it. And at one point, he calls the One Wish Willow customer care. I honestly didn't think they would have something like that who would pick up, but someone does pick up and tells them that there's no reversing this, there's no changing this. The only way they will end is if Bear dies. That's the only way Nikki will be free. So he has no way out, and he decides to carry forward with the stuff anyway, the relationship, because he's afraid, but he also loves her, and it's complicated. And then one night, when they're sleeping together, and he gets a text from Sarah, the other friend. Now she was into Bear from the beginning, and honestly, it would have been so much simpler if he just asked Nikki out, and if she said no, he could have just gotten together with Sarah. I mean, it was better than being alone, and he could have avoided all this stuff. But anyways, Sarah messages him, tells him that she wants to talk, and it's about her college acceptance letter. It's her last chance, and she doesn't want to open it alone, so they're in the car getting ready to open it, and they talk, and she kind of tells him that maybe they should be together. And before anything else happens, the other was, oh yeah, there was something else that also happened before that. right before he took off, while Nikki was sleeping, the real Nikki started talking and asked him to kill her, and says that they were never together. And she begs him, but he just walks away. And then in the car, while Sarah and Bear were talking, Nikki busts the glass door where Sarah was sitting, the driver's seat, and puts a brick against the steering wheel and bashes Sarah's skull in. Seriously, her entire face is gone by the time she's done. She bashes it in a lot, and it was very violent. And Bear's sitting in the seat, traumatized by the whole thing. And then Bear helps Nikki hide the body because he doesn't know what to do, honestly. And then he decides to get another one wish pillow and try to make another wish that Nikki was never into him. But he gets it, but he cannot seem to break it. So because apparently only one person gets one wish, sure, I guess. So he goes to Ian, and he tells Ian about all the stuff, and I don't think he really believes it, the wish stuff. So he gives Ian the willow and tells him to make a wish that Nikki would that Bear never made the wish. But Ian, being skeptical, just wishes for $1 billion, and all of a sudden $1 billion starts flying for the sky. And honestly, I wasn't expecting that. I thought this was a one-time thing. I mean, if this happens all the time, I think people would have noticed by now. But anyway, $1 billion starts flying, and then he goes home, and Nikki's waiting there with Sarah's body, and Nikki's wearing Sarah's clothes. I think it might be Sarah's clothes. And while they're arguing again, Ian shows up, banging on the door, saying that he got $1 billion, it's all real. But while something very serious is going on inside, and then he opens the door, comes in, and Nikki shoots him in the head, and he's dead. So now Sarah and Ian are dead. And Bear decides to go into the bathroom, lock himself in, and he decides that the only thing he could do is to take his life, because the guy on the phone call said that it would only end when he dies. Now, so his choices are either take his life or kill Nikki, and he decides to take his life, and he takes a bunch of pills, and then he dies in Nikki's arms. And Nikki is shocked by that. She's about